Hi there, I'm James Strode, publisher of the Global Legal Insights to Fund Finance. And joining me today is Mike Mascia, co-head of Fund Finance at EverBank and, of course, FFA board member. Mike, great to see you.
Hey, James, how you doing?
Well, doing well, thanks. A little bit chilly here in London, so looking forward to some sunshine and, of course, a great event in Miami. Only a month away or so now. So yeah, doing well. Thanks. Been busy. Listen, Mike. I think actually more pertinent question is how are you? Because it's been a busy 6 months. I bet for yourself and obviously the team. How's things at EverBank gone?
Yeah, we're off to a great start. I'm having fun. I'm learning a lot. We've got a good team around. And we're open for business now. We closed 14 deals in the fourth quarter, and we're off and running. So think things are off to a good start here. Thanks.
That's good. That's good positivity, and I assume that positivity continues into 2024. But there are obviously challenges and headwinds ahead. But what are you guys thinking about coming up in the next sort of 12 months or so in terms of macroeconomic issues and things like that?
Yeah, we're reasonably optimistic. I mean, there's certainly some global macro headwinds, particularly around buyout and capital velocity. But if you look at some of the sub narratives and some of the asset classes that we like to traffic in, think GP stakes, think secondaries, think alternative credit, outside of direct lending, those asset classes really had good years from a fundraising perspective. And so we think there's a lot of opportunity, particularly lending against those, the assets, not just the subscriptions. But, those asset classes create, a ton of opportunity for us. And so we're trying hard to come up with ways to be helpful for clients in those sectors right now.
Yeah, good stuff. Well, look, you've mentioned positivity there and a good outlook. Fund finance industry is always something that continues to innovate and never stops surprising us. If you'd be kind enough, throw some predictions into the ring for what 2024 might hold in terms of fund finance innovation, preeminent products.
Yeah, we see a lot of intersection with securitization right now. So there are a bunch of private credit funds that have been formed that have just a total variety of asset classes. So the license to operate for the funds from an investment perspective is very broad, and it's resulting in a portfolio that has a ton of varying different underlying assets. And so trying to come up with leverage structures for a portfolio of assets is relatively new. And there's not like an existing leverage market like for CLOs, for example, in direct lending. And so we think a lot of securitization like structures are going to be appropriate for many of these asset classes. And so NAV lending in the form of securitization is something that we think is going to happen meaningfully in 2024, and we're certainly trying to be at the forefront of that. And having Jeff Johnson, who's a longtime securitization banker on our team, gives us a nice entryway to kind of the merger of the products.
Yeah, good stuff. Well, look, mentioning securitization and obviously the role of NAV and so forth, you hit on a few of the topics that are covered in this year's Pink Book, of course. And listen, you're now sitting on the other side of the Pink Book. Probably thankful that I'm not chasing you for content and deadlines and so on. But I guess I'm interested to hear now, as you do sit on the other side, what are you looking forward to? How are you going to be using the Pink Book as a resource, and how can they use it? What are the benefits?
You bet. I mean, look, yeah, I personal bias aside, I love the Pink Book. It's always been, a fun thing for me both to work on and a great resource to utilize. Look, I tend to use the Pink Book for two things. I tend to use the Pink Book for jurisdictional assistance when I've got a new jurisdiction and I want to be smart on it, and/or I need to find partners to work with in that jurisdiction. And I use the Pink Book on selective deep dives on a particular issue. So if I've got a transaction that has a rated note feeder, I know there's a good primer on a rated note feeder inside the pink book. And that's just one, easy example. But, anytime you have a difficult issue in a particular deal that you haven't seen in a while, the pink book will always have, a substantive explanation of the key considerations that you can use to refresh and or to be prepared on. So, I keep the pink book handy, and I'm looking forward to getting this year's edition.
And just to build on that, I'll plug it a little bit that actually 21 jurisdictions covered this year. I think that's a record, and deep dives, across 20 or so topics as well. We think it's a really comprehensive one you'll enjoy along with everyone else. Look,
that's great. You guys always do such a good job with the organization and layout of the book. That sounds like great turnout this year.
Thanks. Listen, we've plugged the pink book. I think it's only fair that we give you one last chance to plug Miami and anything else that the FFA are planning this year that you think is worth noting now.
Yeah, I think Miami is going to be incredible. Like, we've got 1,400 people signed up. Last year at this time, we had about 1,000. So, I think it's going to close in on 2,000 attendees. The content team has done a really good job. I think you're going to see real innovation in kind of 2.0 and 3.0 type content this year. And then the way that we space the conference out, there's a lot more time for networking and for meetings that, you don't always have to choose between content and meetings. So I think the extra day in the footprint of the event will create a lot of opportunities for people to, both make sessions and connect with the folks that they need to see to drive their business for the year. So I'm excited. Look forward to seeing you there.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, look, that's just an example, right, of you guys at the FFA listening to what people want, taking on board feedback, right, and constantly improving. And I think that represents the industry as a whole. So absolutely, look forward to seeing you there. And as I say, we'll keep a pink book behind, but do be quick if you want to catch one. We can't keep up with demand. But listen, thanks for joining. I appreciate it, Mike. We'll see you soon.
Thanks for having me. Look forward to hanging out in Miami.
Cheers. Bye.